Something has come up with a couple of my students recently that has been really interesting, and I'd like to share it to a broader audience because it's something that those of us who are in the intuitive world, intuitive work, looking to get into intuitive work and reading for other people, it's a confusing point. And I wanted to talk about how you can know when you're tapping into somebody with your intuition versus when you're just making shit up in your head. Because it happens. And really the only way you're going to determine whether it's your intuition or you're making it up in your head, the best way is to just do it, trust what comes through, and then get feedback from the person you're doing the reading for. If it's something that's landing for them, they'll be like, it'll blow their mind. If it's not, they'll look at you like this at best and do this at worst. But before you get to that point, I want to talk a little bit about how it feels to be reading for somebody and really using your intuition. And what I'll say is, if you feel like maybe it's all in your head, even people who are very clairvoyant, if it's all in your head, then you're in danger of kind of making it up in your head, that you're just, because a lot of intuitive work, all intuitive work really is feeling based. So as you're sitting with somebody, take a step back energetically and move into your body and feel the intuitive information in your body. And it is not your job to interpret that information. It's not your job to understand intuitive information. It's the person sitting in front of you who needs to understand it. So one of the tells that you can know that you're starting to get into a story around what you're getting, when you're starting to make things up, even if you're not meaning to, even if you're really trying not to, is when you start trying to, or feeling like you need to interpret for somebody else, or tell the story for somebody else. They will understand the information you get. You may get something in your body, maybe you'll feel a sensation in your heart, or you'll feel a choking in your throat, and you just start to begin by describing what you're feeling in as much detail as you can. That gives the person sitting in front of you everything they need, and so they tell the story in their head and they can give that information meaning. It is not your job as the reader to give meaning to the information that you're receiving. So this, what you'll do is you'll feel it in your body. You'll feel that intuitive information in your body. And then as you start to follow that and you start to speak to it and just describe it, you'll get more and more information, intuitive information coming through. But just be aware when you start to feel like you have to explain it or define it or interpret that information, that's when you've jumped out of your intuition and into your mind. And now your logical mind is coming in and doing the thing that it does, which is trying to interpret intuitive information. But guess what? The mind and the intuition do not speak the same language. So you're not going to be able to do that. Certainly not for intuitive information for someone else. So take a step back. When you get into interpretation, take a step back. As you begin on your path of intuition and reading for people and tapping and tuning in for people, you're learning your unique language with divine spirit. You're going to get it in different ways. You get it differently than I get it or anybody else gets it. So be gentle with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself the opportunity to practice with people who will give you honest and loving feedback. And then just pay attention to how that feels. Intuitive information, you can feel it in your body. It feels a little more dense. It feels like things come through without you really thinking about it or having time to judge it. When it goes into your mind, the energy feels lighter. It feels more anxious or energized. And you can feel the energy once you do this a couple times. You can feel it move up to your head. You'll be like, no, that's not it. I have actually, in my readings with people, I've actually done this. I've been going on and doing a reading, and all of a sudden I feel the energy rise. I go, hang on. I need to get out of my head. And I will take a breath. I will take as many breaths as I need to and move myself aside. My little prayer for myself is, help me move my human experience aside. Just help me get out of the way so that I can bring the information through. And again, it takes practice. So be patient with yourself, be gentle with yourself. And if you need some guidance in that area, you know where to find me. I love you lots. I hope that was helpful. Feel free to pop a comment and pop a question down below. Mwah! I adore you. Bye.